So, in today's session, I am going to cover a new topic called types of SAP document prepared by a consultant. Like how many types of documents will be prepared by you people once you become consultant. So one by one, I'll explain. Most of the document, most of the topics I have already explained previously. Here I have just compiled those all documents and then I have added few new documents which I am going to explain in this session. So now the first document is called as-is document. Generally this document will not be prepared by consultant side. This will be prepared by the core team member, CTM. CTM means the representative of client side. In my previous session during ASAP methodology, I have already explained what is called CTM, core team member. So core team member is going to prepare this document. As-is document. As-is document consists of all the current process which is running in the client at the client side right now in the client's organization. Now to be document. To be document will be prepared by you people, in the sense SAP consultant. It consists of proposed business process based on the as-is document. In the sense, once you receive as-is from client, in the sense CTM, core team member, then both based on that as-is we have to prepare. We are also going to list out what we can deliver. So those listing, those all things we are going to list out, maybe in a Word document or Excel documents and all, and reply back to the core team member. So that document is called to be document. Okay. There may be a case where this as-is document and to be document preparation will not be there. Let's suppose sometime what is happening, this as-is to be document is going to take some time because we'll be having some discussion, and based on that, like client has prepared as-is document, you have prepared to be document, client are very new for this SAP, some discussion may happen at that point of time itself, so it's going to consume your 1 week, let's suppose. And if you are having a small deadline given by client that I want to, if they said like this project should be implemented, SAP should be implemented within 6 months. So in that case, what will happen? Then we agreed that okay, we are going to avoid some small activities like preparation of as-is document, to be document. We are not going to prepare these document. Simply, we are going to tell client that you do one thing, just list out the things, or else even client also will not list out. We'll have a discussion that how many processes they are having, and immediately we are going to note it down.
Okay, sir.
So I was explaining about BPC, business process catalog. So here what is happening, if we are having a small deadline from client, let's suppose client says that you know, if the client has given a very small deadline within 6 months, we have to implement the project. In that case, we avoid some small activity which you know consumes some time. So like as is document, preparation of as is document, to be document, we are going to avoid in that case, what will happen? Simply, we will be having a discussion with the client. We will be having discussion with client means core team member, the representative of client side. So during discussion itself, we are going to list out all their existing process, whatever the existing processes are there, and that is called business process catalog. In front of the client itself, once we have discussion at that point of time itself, we are going to note down all the existing process. We'll make a list, and then immediately we are going to share to the client also that as per our discussion, these are the existing processes on which we have agreed upon. So this document is called business process catalog. BPC is nothing but just like as is document itself. Okay, so either you can prepare as is to be or else BPC. Now the major important document which is prepared by consultant is blueprint. Let's suppose we have mentioned all the existing processes in BPC itself. Business process catalog has been prepared, which has been shared to the client also that these are the existing processes and all. In blueprint, we are going to specify the process which we are going to deliver to the client during this SAP implementation. In the sense, let's suppose they are saying that we are having lots of procure to pay process. They are they are using petty cash for a small all the small expenditures and all. They are having like customer invoices, customer payments, and then customer credit memo. Lots of tax related activities are there. Several reports are there. So that is the requirement raised by finance team that these are the things activities which we are having right now. So those activity we have to map in SAP. So before mapping, first of all, we have to what we are going to do before doing the configurations and all. First of all, we are going to document all those things with all the required details and all. If there is any specific requirement from client side, those also we are going to specify in the blueprint document. Means all the deliverables, whatever we have to deliver to the client, we are going to specify in blueprint. Okay, so blueprint is a document prepared based on the requirement gathered from client side. First of all, we are going to gather the requirement from client side, and these all things we have to document. So that document is called blueprint. In this phase, in blueprint phase, what will happen? Consultant will have a discussion with their respective core team member regarding business process and will record entire requirement in a document which is called blueprint. So it's pretty simple to define. So once we prepare this blueprint, then we are going to share this document to the client. Once client agreed, if they approve this, then they have to give their sign off signature also, in the sense like we are agreed with this document, and then we proceed further. Now, so we are having, after blueprint, we are having certain other documents that is called unit test document. Now unit test, already I have explained you people in the last session. Unit test means individual test conducted by after configuration. Individually we have to conduct the test also, process by process, one by one. So that testing is called unit test. And if you are performing this unit test and all, then we have to prepare a document also, because what will happen, your project manager is going to ask the status every after 2 days or every after 3 days or maybe every day. So in that case, if you say that you have done some configuration and testing is also completed, Now he is not going to verify your configurations and all. He is not going to check your configurations, like what exactly you have configured and really you have done this activity or not. Simply he will say that okay, if you have done configuration, you might have tested also. If you have tested, then send me the document, send me the test document. Okay, so the testing which you have performed is called unit test. The same whatever things we have tested, just take the screenshot, paste it somewhere on the word document, prepare, list out, prepare a a word, what to say, a document of this testing. That document is called unit test. There is no any kind of standard template for unit test and all, because this is internal document. In the sense, simply we are going to report to your project manager with the activity which you have performed, means testing which we have performed. So for that we are going to prepare this unit test document. Integration test document. Integration test document. So what is called integration, that is also is explained by me during integration. Let's suppose I have explained here P2P process, procure to pay process. So during implementation also, what will happen, we are going to test certain process. So while testing, if you report your project manager that our one integration test is completed successfully, in that case also he will say that okay, then send me a document. So we have to prepare a document also, like let's suppose P2P process, procure to pay. So procure to pay process is the combination of purchase order, posting of goods receipt, posting invoice receipt, payment posting. Now whenever we create purchase order, just take a screenshot and paste it somewhere in Word document. Whenever we post goods receipt, just take the screenshot, paste it in Word document, invoice receipt also. So that's how we are going to, and specify some 2 line in 3 line, something, some explanations we are going to give with transaction codes and all, and we'll prepare a document and then we are going to share to the uh, your project manager. So preparing this document is pretty easy, and then once I start the practical session, I'm going to share you guys these all documents. Unit test, integration test means in configuration document itself, testing part also will be there. Now the next document will be prepared is called UAT, user acceptance test. Okay, so user acceptance test documents generally is prepared by CTM itself, user itself. Whatever testing he is going to perform, just you have to instruct him that do one thing, just take the screenshot and prepare a document, whichever activity he is going to perform. Let's suppose he is testing one by one all those things. So for everything he has to prepare a document. During UAT, user acceptance test, will be called like testing which is performed by core team member or anybody from client side, user from client side. So while testing, he also has to prepare a document, and that document is called user acceptance test. So whenever he perform entire testing, he has prepared a list of, like whatever the processes he has tested, he is going to list out, he is going to prepare a document. And once this document is prepared, once he completed his testing and all, then what will happen? Then we are going to get a sign off for this UAT document also. Generally, it's not a mandatory thing, but sometimes project manager says that yeah, for safer side, better to have some sign off in the sense take the signature from that user from client side. It means he's agreed that whatever things he has tested, he has tested successfully, so that in future he cannot ask no something I tested that was with that testing I was not satisfied, I want this, I want that. Of course these kind of small things will be always there. Client will never satisfied, guys. Even if you are going to die also, they will not satisfied. But still, so that's what small activity they keep on raising that okay, it's better if you add these things, better if you add one more field, like that they'll keep on raising the requirement. Even after giving sign off also, even after giving signature also, they'll say that can you change these things, can you add some xyz activities and all. So once we have practical, then you will be having better idea. So whatever the testing is performed by user is going to prepare a test document. That document is called user acceptance test, and we take a sign off from user for that document. Now another document is called training manual. Of course, once we completed our configurations, everything is completed during SAP implementations, then we have to train the end user from client side, and we have to prepare a document called training manual document. Training manual means if you have trained somebody, if you have given training somebody, it doesn't mean that immediately he is going to cover each and everything, and everything whatever we have trained, everything is going to be settled down in his mind immediately. There may be some confusion always. So in order to avoid these all things, we have to prepare a training document, training manual, and then we'll hand over to the client that I've given you training and take this training manual document. So in future, if you have any queries, any confusion, refer this training manual document. That is going to help you out. Then the next document is called configuration document. Configuration document is prepared by you people. It consists of all the configurations we have done, whichever configuration we have done in SAP. These all step by step, we have to take the screenshots and we have to paste somewhere, and we'll give some explanations also. So those configuration document you have to prepare, and that configuration document we have to hand over to the client at the end of the project. What is this configuration document, how to prepare this configuration document, I'll share with you guys once we start the practical session and all. Now the next document is called functional specification. It is the most important document. If you know this, guys, if you go anywhere for interview, this is the must ask question, and the purpose of conducting this class is to give explanation about this, to make you guys understand about functional specification document. Remaining almost, I think, in the previous session, I have already explained about this, all the processes which I have explained, and related to that, whatever document we have prepared, that is called like, as I said, IT, integration test document. So it's pretty simple. You know that whenever you conduct integration test, we have if you prepare a document during the integration test, that document will be called IT document. UT document means whenever you are going to conduct UT, unit test, at that point of time, let's suppose if you have prepared a document, that is called UT document, in the sense documenting your unit test, documenting your integration test, documenting your user acceptance test, documenting your configuration is called configuration test. So almost above whatever previously whatever the activity I have, whatever the document I have explained, this will be like it's pretty easy for you guys to understand. Functional specification is a new document which is prepared by a functional consultant. You guys are functional consultant. Okay, like we are having two types of consultant guys, functional and technical. So you guys are functional consultant. Who comes under functional? FICO, SD, MM, HR, PP, QM, PS, lots of other modules are there. This is called functional consultant. Technical consultant means, like let's suppose ABAP module is there, basis module is there. So what these people are going to do? These people, this technical consultant will not have any interaction with the client. Technical consultant will not have any interaction with the client. What they are going to do, technical consultants are there to help functional consultant. Technical consultants are going to help functional consultant. How they are going to help? What is the activity of basis consultant? Basis consultant, whenever, let's suppose you joined any organization as a SAP consultant, basis consultant is going to create your user ID and password. Basis consultant is going to install your server. Basis consultant, if any problem is there, if any problem is there in SAP, let's suppose we are using SAP and SAP become dead slow, that is called the server becomes slow. So he is going to find out where is the problem and they are going to restore the speed of this SAP once again. Then let's suppose if any new consultant join, some authorization related access also they will be having. Like let's suppose initially some of the junior consultants are very much new. So what will happen? Basis consultant is not going to give all the authorizations because certain when there are lots of activity which is performed by consultant, some of the activities are very much sensitive, which is like let's suppose uh, if we do any kind of changes in those fields and all, then it is going to have impact to all module. So in that case what will happen, basis consultant will restrict the access for those activities for all the new joinees, because new joinees means let's suppose they are junior consultant, they are not having very much awareness what kind of impact will happen if they are going to change some few of the tables or certain things. What is this tables and all, that I'll explain later, don't worry. So these all restrictions, it means giving authorizations and all, that is there in the hand of basis consultant. Server installation, creation of user ID, password, giving certain access and all, that is there in the hand of basis consultant. And what is the use of, what is the activity performed by ABAP consultant? ABAP consultant is going to take care of all development related activity. Development related activity in the sense, I'll just let you know a small example. Let's suppose whenever that user from client side, client is nothing but, let's suppose as I have already explained in the previous session, that Tata Motor is your client. So whenever let's suppose something SAP is being used by Tata Motor, and in between, or else like some client has done this UAT, user acceptance test, and at that point of time they said like, okay, while posting this invoice, whatever screen is appearing, you do one thing, I need one new field here. They want to develop a new field. In the sense, they'll be saying that you bring a new field here, and because we have to enter certain details over there. Now what will happen, client has explained the requirement, but those new field, that new field is not available. That new field we cannot bring through configuration. You guys are going to do configurations. What is this configurations? Next session onwards, entire activities will be configuration activity itself. So don't worry about this configurations and all, because you are going to be very much perfect in terms of configurations and all. Now, so through configuration, it's not possible to bring that specified field. So what will happen? It means we have to go for development. That is called customizing also. In the sense, we need to change the shape of SAP. Whatever the standard shape is there, in that somewhere in background, certain change we'll have to do. So, and then we have to go for customization. We have to go for development. So who is going to do this development related activity? That will be performed by your basis consultant, technical consultant, because we are not very much sound technically to develop a new field, to develop a new table, to develop a new transaction code. So these all activities will be done by basis consultant. Okay, sorry, ABAP consultant. Development related activity will be performed by ABAP consultant. Now I'll explain here functional specification. So functional specification is a document prepared by functional consultant which consists of development related requirement in details. Why I have explained these all things, guys? In order to make you understand functional specification. Let's suppose the requirement raised by a client that they want a new field appearing should be appear during invoice posting. Whatever the standard fields are appearing, like vendor name, you are going to enter vendor name, then certain amount, whatever the amount is quoted on invoice, invoice number, total invoice amount, tax amount, everything we have mentioned, and then we are going to post this. But vendor says, so client says that while posting this vendor invoice, we need one more new field should appear here. So kindly bring that field here. So if that field is not possible to bring through a standard configuration, then what we are going to do? We are going to contact our developer. That guy, you do one thing, just bring an additional field. We are going to specify the place also where exactly they have to bring. Just bring this additional field here since this requirement is raised by client. So now, even though technical consultant is going to sit at the same place where the functional consultants are going to sit, still I'll tell you guys, nothing is going to, like here in organization, no one is going to work based on your verbal communication and based on our verbal confirmation. In the sense, verbal confirmation in the sense, simply if you go to your technical consultant and if you say that this is the requirement, you start developing, they will not work. So what will happen? This is that you do one thing, specify all the requirement in a document and send me that document through mail. Just send me a mail. Specify the requirement in a document, prepare a document, whatever development you want, and give all the explanations over there, and then you send me that document through mail. Then only he is going to work. Because what will happen in future, generally for every activity in every organization, some internal audit will take place. So during internal audit means we are going to check whether users are working as per the what to say rules and regulations and all, or not. So during auditings and all, whether they are working carefully or carelessly and all, so many things they are going to check in that. So during internal audit, if somebody asked from technical consultant, in the sense ABAP consultant, that you have done some changes in a standard table, in the sense you have done some development on so and so date, based on what? So at that point of time, they cannot say that okay, some finance consultant came to me and he said to do this development and that is what I did. Then they'll ask like, what is the proof? So that's what everything happens through email communication itself, so that they will be also having proof that yes, see, these are the requirement which I have received from finance consultant earlier. He has sent me, he has also sent me this a document also, where he has specified all the requirement, and based on that document and based on that mail I have done this development. Now, so functional specification is a document which is prepared by functional consultant, which consists of development related requirement in details. If you have received requirement from client side, they are saying that you bring one additional field here during invoice posting. So what will happen if we know that this is impossible, it's impossible to bring that field through standard configuration? In that case, what we are going to do? In that case, we are going to bring that field through development. So development cannot be done by you guys. Development will be done by developer only. Developer in the sense ABAP consultant. So ABAP consultant are not going to start activities based on our conversation or verbal confirmation. So for that, what we are going to do, we have to prepare a document where we are going to specify the requirement raised by client, and that document is called functional specification document. It is called, in short, it is called functional spec or functional specs or FS or functional specification. All four are same. So during interview, people may ask, what do you mean by functional specification document? So you have to say that it's a document prepared by functional consultant which consists of all development related requirement in details. What development related requirement in details? First of all, in functional specification, we are going to specify as is. As is means how the screen is looking like at present, how the screen looks like. Okay. Then we are going to specify to be. To be means what is our expectation now, how I want this screen should look like. Okay, so again same screenshot we have pasted, and some a small drawing we can small box we can draw somewhere that you have to develop this field here at this place. Okay, and there then we are going to write down something in for explanation also. We have to specify that develop a new field here, so that functional is asking like for a specific field a web consultants are doing. In that case, what is the requirement of functional consultant? Functional consultants are going to do different activity. All the configuration related activity will be done by functional consultant. Development related activity will be done by technical consultant, means a web consultant. What is this? What to say? Configurations. Configurations means standard setting given by SAP. Standard setting given by SAP. In that, lots of settings will be there. Somewhere you need to apply check mark, somewhere you are not going to apply check mark. Somewhere you are going to select some radio button, somewhere you are not going to select radio button. So this is called standard configuration. As a consultant, we know what exactly a result will be there or outcome will be there if you apply a check mark here. What exactly outcome will be there if we don't apply a check mark here. So that is called standard configuration. It means these things or these steps are already specified by SAP somewhere. Okay, but there are certain activity like I said for invoice posting. We have done all the standard configuration and then one screen has appeared. Now client is not satisfied with that screen and they are saying to bring one more additional field they are telling us to add. But that field cannot be brought through a standard configuration. It means what we have to do, we have to change the standard, whatever the standard screen is there of given by SAP, we need to change it. We have to customize. So who is going to do this customization? We are not going to do this customization. That customization will be done by technical consultant. That is called ABAP. These people are going to do all this development kind of activity or customization kind of activity. Okay. So technical consultant means ABAP consultant is going to do all this kind of development, and we people are going to do all the configurations. So whenever if we have to do any sort of development and all, we have to prepare a proper document for that, where we are going to specify how the screen looks like right now, and then you have to also specify what is the exact requirement, in the sense how should it looks like after development. And then we are going to specify our requirement also, what is the exact requirement, in the sense requirement in the sense where exactly we want this field, this additional fields, and what should be the length of the that field. Length means if they are going to develop the field, then how many characters, what is the length, minimum length of this field, like 20 character, 25 character, 30 characters, like these kind of things we are going to specify. So here guys, in this case, development related requirement, if you are going to prepare functional specification, functional consultant is just like a bridge between user and technical consultant. Even though this is a development related requirement, but first of all, requirement is raised by client. Requirement is raised by client, but they are not going to discuss with technical consultant directly. They are going to discuss with their respective consultant. If the user belongs to finance team, he is going to have discussion with the finance consultant and he is going to specify his concern. As a consultant, I came to know that this is not a configuration or this requirement, these things cannot be achieved through standard configuration. Okay, once you have little bit experience, it's very easy to identify whether it is a configuration or development. So don't worry about these things right now. So once you realize that this is not this requirement cannot be met by standard configurations, this will be happen, or this is possible only through development, then what will happen, we are going to collect the requirement from user, and then we have to prepare a document, and then we are going to raise this requirement with technical consultant. So functional consultant is just like a bridge. Functional consultant is going to receive the requirement. We have to gather the requirement from client side, and based on that we have to prepare this functional specification document, where we are going to specify the exact requirement, and then this document is going to be handed over, in the sense we are going to send to technical consultant, and verbally also we can make them understand that what exactly we are looking for. Okay, so even in future, if technical consultant is having any sort of if they need some additional if they are having some confusions and all, if they need some additional clarifications and all, they are going to they will not contact client directly. Technical consultant will not be in touch with client directly. Who is going to have discussion with the client? Functional consultant. Even if the technical consultant needs some more clarification, and let's suppose we as a functional consultant we are not having that information, then what will happen? Technical consultant means ABAP consultant is going to drop a mail to you. The same we are going to forward to the client, that this is the requirement raised by our technical consultant, kindly answer. Okay, So all the requirement received by functional consultant itself, and then we have, if it is possible through a standard configuration, we can do it from our end. And if we find like it is, if we assume that this can be achieved by development, then we have to prepare a functional specification document and we have to send it to our developer. Okay, there is one more question. Functional consultant will prepare configuration documents. So each and every module of functional consultant will prepare. Of course, each and every module of functional consultant is going to prepare their configuration document. You, as a finance consultant, going to prepare a configuration document which belongs to finance module. Likewise, we are having certain other modules also. We are having SD module, MM module, HR module, same kind of activities even they are also happening. In the sense they are also going to do certain configurations. So those things, those documents will be prepared by respective consultant. Okay, and one more question is there. It means functional consultants are bound to configure detail provided by SAP only. Yes, whatever the standard configurations are there, those only we can do. If any, if there is a requirement to change the standard shape, which is already predefined by SAP, if you have to change that, if you need to develop, if you need to bring a new field, which is not possible through configuration, then what we have to do, then the changes in that shape, in this, it means customization or development will not be done by functional consultant, but functional consultant has to make it done, in the sense you have to make it done by somebody. Okay, now the next question is, these documents are prepared by consultant during implementation project. Of course, during implementation project these all documents will be prepared. That is why it's going to take a time huge time, in the sense like 8 month, 9 month, 10 month it takes during implementation, because lots of document preparations are going on. Now, if you talk about functional specification document, that will be prepared, that can be prepared during implementation also, and this functional specification document can be prepared during support project also, because during support also always some new requirement may come from client side. They'll keep on saying that now I want these things to should be developed. They want some new fields should be added in the reports. If they're going to fetch certain reports, in that they'll be having some requirement that you change the layout of report. So in that case also certain development is required. So during support also we can have to prepare this functional specification document. Functional specification document can be prepared in case of implementation and in case of support also. There is no such standard template for as is and to be document, guys, because I said like simply we are going to list down all the requirements. Sorry, all the processes are being used by client, and then whatever things we have, like client has listed down there all the processes somewhere in Excel sheet and Word format that they have shared. Based on that to be document, we are going to prepare that how many of these, whatever the processes they have shared, out of which how many we can deliver. So it's not like that we'll be having a standard template you can prepare in Word, we can prepare it in Excel. For blueprint we will be having standard template or standard documents. Generally in blueprint we are not going to prepare this blueprint from beginning. Simply we will be having lots of template out of which we have to just copy one. And if you talk about processes, almost everywhere, country wise I am talking, similar processes will be there. So it's not like that we are going to prepare blueprint from scratch, from beginning. We'll be having already template means what? Blueprint will be prepared by somebody maybe earlier during a different project. So same two or three or four, blueprint, different blueprint has been kept somewhere in a shared folder as a template. So what you guys has to do whenever a new project is going to start, simply just access that folder and copy a blueprint, whichever you like, whichever format you like, copy one blueprint, and simply we are going to make editing and all. Editing means like that blueprint belongs to a previous project, so their project, that client logo will be there, remove that client logo. Then we'll have to change the dates, we'll have to change the name of consultants or project manager from this IT company side, project manager from client side, and whatever the other details are there, some small formattings we'll have to do. And then we'll have to remove all the gaps which has been specified in that blueprint. So likewise we are going to do some editings and all, and remaining almost the process wise it will be almost similar. So 85% to 90% of the contents will be same. 15% changes we are going to make, and that's how we can prepare a blueprint and we are going to send it to the client. If the client is going to say anything to change, like client is going to verify, and then whatever the changes are there, they'll revert back on the mail and they are going to say that remove this, add this, something, they will be, they are going to suggest what next to be done. So now I was explaining about functional specification. I have given already 15-minute explanations that functional specification is a document prepared by functional consultant where we are going to specify development related requirement in details. Okay, here functional consultant collect the business requirement from client side. We identify the requirement, the required development, and specify in a functional specification for FS document. We specify in a document, that document is called functional specification. And based on this document, what will happen, the technical consultant, in the sense ABAP consultant, is going to work. See guys, blueprint will be prepared before configuration. So whatever changes, whatever things are required, that will be changed initially itself during discussions, and after that there is no any changes in blueprint. Once we got sign off, whatever things we have specified in blueprint, based on that we are going to work. Okay, because if we keep on changing every time in blueprint, then what will happen, then project is not going to be implemented successfully, and that too within specified deadline. Because if you completely follow the client, then what will happen, they will keep on changing their requirement. So even after 4 years also, I don't think that client is going to satisfied, because they'll keep on, see the greed, it's greed, like they pay either 1 rupees or 10 rupees or 100 rupees, it doesn't matter. Everybody wants to have more. So this more means it, their desire will never end. So that's what we are having, like why we are preparing blueprint we are preparing means whatever the client requirement is there, first of all before starting configuration, we have to freeze the requirement. That now you do one thing, you just tell whatever the requirements are there, we have specified in blueprint all the requirements, and then we said that now the requirements are going to be freeze. There should not be any further requirement raised, because we are going to start our configuration. So that's what we have taken sign off of blueprint. In between, if there is another requirement, and if there is another requirement and they are saying no, this is very much mandatory and we want this at any point, and in any case we want these things, then of course in that case rules are made to breach. So in that case what will happen, project manager will say that you do one thing, just add 20 lakh rupees additional. in the PO amount, in the sense like whatever, if we quoted a project in 2.5 crore rupees, they'll say that now instead of 2.5 you need to pay 2.7 crore rupees. So we are going to consider all the new requirement raised by you. So this may happen, but generally blueprint we are not going to change. Once the requirement got freezed, then the blueprint is treated as a final document, and based on the things which we have specified in blueprint, we have to do configurations. There is no any specific name. There is no any specific name. If any changes are there, what will happen? Simply what we are going to do, we are going to tear the previous blueprint. We will be throwing in the dustbin, and again whatever the soft copy we are having, what will happen in that soft copy itself, we are going to change the version and will specify the new requirement in that soft copy, and once again we'll take the printout and we are going to have a sign off from client side from backdate. Okay, that's what it's happening. Support is, of course, support is post go live. After go live only support project will be there. Okay. So functional specification is a document prepared by functional consultant where we are going to specify all the development related requirement in details, and this document we share to the technical consultant for development. Now, technical specification. Functional specification stand for, like, in shortcut this is called FS. Technical specification in shortcut it is called TS. Technical specification, again, this document is prepared by technical consultant. We are not going to prepare technical specification. Why I have specified this technical specification document? Because at least you should, so that at least you should hear this document, it should be there in your mind, because somebody sometime what is happening, people will ask, what do you mean by FS and TS? So FS is your part, you know very well. TS is not your part, but still we can't say that I don't know what is this TS. Then they'll come to know that simply you have mucked up the definition of FS and you haven't heard about TS. Okay. So TS is technical specification. TS stands for technical specification. This is a document which is prepared by technical consultant in response to the functional specification. In the sense, in TS document, in technical specification, what they are going to specify, they are going to specify the progress of development, what exactly they have done today, how much they have done today, which table, what changes they have done today, why they are going to prepare this TS. Let's suppose technical consultant is working on, they are doing certain development, and after 5 days due to certain mishap he is not going to come to organization. He has all of a sudden he has taken 20 days leave, 30 days leave. Client has nothing to do with this. They are not going to accept these stories and all, because we have given certain deadline to client, and for that itself they are going to make payment and all. So in that case, what will happen? Then we are going to, of course, the backup will be there in the team for everything. Certain backup will be there. So whoever the backup is there of that ABAP consultant, now that fellow will come and then he will start this development. But the thing is, like, he doesn't know what is the progress, how much activity has been performed by technical consultant. So what he is going to do, he is going to refer this technical specification document. In that he came to know, okay, 30% has been done already, he has done, and what exactly he has done till this level changes has been done. So from there he is going to start. Okay. So technical specification, though it is not prepared by us, means you guys, though it is not prepared by functional consultants, still people generally ask during question, what do you mean by FS and TS? So if somebody asks what do you mean by FS and TS, you have to say FS stand for functional specification, TS stand for technical specification. FS is prepared by functional consultant, where we are going to specify all the development related requirement, and TS is prepared by technical consultant, where he is going to specify all the technical what to say technically whatever he is going to perform, all the development related requirement, he is going to specify the progress related to a particular development. That's it, this much only you can say. So that's all in this session, guys.